I'm going to show you how to make jam buns. I got a request for jam buns, so I thought of doing this recipe for you. I'm using 500 grams of bread flour or plain flour or all-purpose flour, and then I have 100 grams of self-raising flour. If you can't find self-raising flour, add a teaspoon of baking powder into the plain flour. Then I have 1.5 cups of milk. So sometimes you might need some more milk. If you need, that depends on the size of the eggs that you are going to use. So I'm using 2 large eggs, and I put 2 teaspoons of dry yeast with 2 tablespoons of sugar with 2 tablespoons of warm water, and it's activating now. And I have 60 grams of brown sugar, or you can use caster sugar, a little bit of vanilla. And for the filling I am using strawberry jam. You can use any kind of a jam in this recipe. Make sure that the milk is lukewarm too. So to start this, I'm going to knead all these ingredients about 10 minutes. I put both flours into the mixing bowl and going to add the activated yeast, and into that, with the yeast, I'm going to add the sugar. It will give a nice sweetness as well as give the background for the yeast to mature. So I'm putting sugar in it and a little bit of vanilla, and add the 2 eggs too, and knead this about 10 minutes with adding little by little the milk. After adding the milk, I had some leftovers. That's because of the egg is very large, so sometimes you won't need this much of milk, or sometimes you will need more milk. I'm really sorry, I forgot to show you to put the butter in, or even you can use 50 milliliters of oil in here, but I'm going to use 75 grams of butter. I'm going to mix it with the dough to give that nice smooth look. After kneading the dough, spray a bowl and put the dough in and cover it with a damp cloth and leave it in a warm place until it doubles in size. Now I am going to show you how to do the jam buns. Now I have some flour and I'm going to put the dough on top of that. It's really nice and moist, this dough. That is the secret of these jam buns. So take a little bit more flour and add on top of the dough too, and flour see, it's really nice and smooth. So there are several ways of doing this. One way that I am going to show, that in Sri Lanka they make these buns in a circle like this. Just press the circle, the dough, and make a circle out of that. After making the circle, take some jam and put it in the middle of the circle. This is homemade jam and it's really nice. So put it in the middle and take the other edge to a corner, leaving a little bit of the edge, and make a nice pattern on top of the bun like this. Now take a fork and just press it down, sealing it without leaving the holes for jam to come out. Just like that. Put it on the baking mat. I'm going to do several of that and I'll show you the other way too. I did 2 buns the other way, and now normal way of doing the buns, jam buns. Spread the dough to make it to a rectangle or a square. After making a square or rectangle, cut it in the middle and cut it back again in the middle, the pieces, and cut into equal size portions. Now into the middle of each portion add a bit of jam. That is up to you how much you are going to use in one piece. So break it into the correct portion size and just bend it over like this, sealing the edges properly, and take a tray like this and spray it properly, and make sure you spray the edges of the bun too and put it on the tray like this. Always spray the edge. I did the jam buns and I'm going to leave this to prove again about 1 hour or maybe half an hour, depends on the temperature, room temperature. So I'm going to leave this again covered with a damp cloth. After leaving the dough about 45 minutes, now it's ready to go into the oven, 180, about 20 to 30 minutes. I finished baking the jam buns and they are quite hot, so I'm going to leave it to cool down a bit and I'll show you after how it looks like. I finished making the jam bread or the rolls and it's really nice and moist, and these are the easiest way, and this is the Sri Lankan way, and I hope you will enjoy this recipe. Thank you for watching.